everyone, welcome to Reflection Thursday, where every Thursday we talk about something that happened in the past week. Well, it just so happens that this week I decided was going to be Disney week. And if you haven't seen Monday's video, we talked about my top 5 favorite Disney songs on the entire planet. If you haven't seen it, make sure you click the cards. But I did warn you guys in that video that this video was going to be my top 5 favorite Disney movies. Now, let me give you some parameters for this list. Now, when I say my top 5 favorite Disney movies, I legit mean Disney. Whether it is an animated movie or live action, it has to be a full-on Disney film, which means no Pixar, no Marvel, and certainly not Lucasfilms. Because heaven forbid, we know that there's already enough in there as it is. Number 5 is Pinocchio. Why exactly do I like the movie so much? It's pretty much the lesson about you always want to trust your own instincts and don't let anybody else dictate where you want to go, and being honest with yourself, because the more honest you are with yourself, you know, the less you're gonna get into trouble, including getting swallowed by a big old whale, some crazy place where you drink alcohol and smoke cigars and become a donkey, and not being trapped in show business, which is really weird because show business is like my major thing, so I just don't understand at all. And on top of that, all the music is something that I actually listen to and I really enjoy. Whenever I can get a chance to see the movie, I do definitely watch it. What definitely scares me though is I'm gonna have to say it's probably gonna be those donkeys. The scariest and creepiest thing you will ever see in your entire life. Number 4 is Big Hero 6. Now I know, now technically while this is a Walt Disney Animation Studios production, it originally started off as a Marvel comic book, but obviously it's a comic that no one knew about until Walt Disney producers created this movie. One of the reasons I really like it is because I like the whole combination of American and Japanese cultures coming together, because I think that we both, our two countries, do have our kind of the leading providers in great technology, in my personal opinion. And I just like the whole idea of what the future could potentially be, is it's a combination and comes up to San Francisco. It's so much fun. The story is super genuine. It's simply just a boy trying to cope with the fact that he lost his brother. So overall, the message is fantastic and the characters are so diverse, and it makes a much more interesting movie to watch. Number 3 is Mary Poppins. If you've seen the movie Saving Mr. Banks, you kind of have an idea of really how interesting the creative process for that movie was turned out. P.L. Travers, the author, didn't really like the fact that Walt Disney was taking her properties and making them into a movie, was very against Dick Van Dyke playing a British character, was kind of bad, and then when the movie premiered, she said she absolutely hated it, even though she was kind of working on it as much as she could. If you really see it too, the whole story, especially in Saving Mr. Banks, it is kind of mentioned the reason why the movie is what it is. The simple story is just a father just regaining his relationship back with his kids, and Mary Poppins is kind of the glue that's making all of that happen. And not only that, there are some very classic songs in there. Obviously, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Let's Go Fly a Kite, and obviously one of my favorite ones is Feed the Birds. And that particular song was also then taken into the musical and worked on a little bit more, which adds more drama to the song, which is really good and does have a great message behind it. Number 2 is Wreck-It Ralph. I absolutely love this idea of, for a movie, is how does a video game villain, how does he feel when the games are done for the day? Like, how do they feel? And I like that little behind the scenes looks, and it helps me figure out a little bit, what do they do when no one is playing their video game? It's so interesting. I think it's so much fun, and I really like it. And of course, we got a really great song out of it, When Can We Do This Again, from Owl City, which then became the theme of Paint the Night. And it's so good. I'm so excited that I am seeing the sequel coming out, which is really good. I cannot wait for that sequel to come out. Now, before I tell you number 1, let me just preface that I actually had to make it a tie, because there are 2 movies that whenever I can get an opportunity to watch them, I actually do watch them. It's two of my favorite movies ever in the entire planet, and if you want to date me, you can use these to coax me in. That's all you need, is just these 2 movies. You're welcome. Because number 1 is Meet the Robinsons and Tron, the original Tron. Now, Meet the Robinsons is, believe it or not, one of my favorite movies. Why? Is because the overall message of the story is never letting your failures move you away from the direction that you want to be in. Always learn from your mistakes and keep going and keep moving forward, which is the overall line theme of the entire movie. I think that the animators who did it did such a good job because they took what they had learned from Walt Disney and the mess and the legacy that he left behind and translated it into this story here, and it was so beautifully done, including the ending montage of Louis being adopted and becoming the person that he really wanted to be and the person that he ended up seeing when he traveled into the future with Rob Thomas's These Little Wonders, which is so beautiful. I absolutely love every second of this movie, and anytime I can get the chance to see it, I do see it because it's that good. Now the other one is going to be Tron, because if Tron took anything from Walt Disney's legacy, it's always doing something that people have not done before and that are afraid to do it. Because Tron was one of the very first times that computer animation was actually in a full-length animated feature film, and I think it was so well done, and the story is so unique, and it's what happens in a computer program or computer mainframe. What Tron did here then laid the foundation for how everyone else saw the future and technology, and inspired a new generation of filmmakers with Tron Legacy to then take what was created here and translate it to Legacy, which then Legacy inspired a bunch of other people, and it's so good to watch something like this grow. And I just love, for me, I like to call myself a futurist. I love what the future may have. I love technology, and anytime someone can really accurately show what the future may be like, I definitely go towards it. So those are my top 6, I guess we'll go with my top 5 favorite Disney movies. Now leave in the comments down below, what are some of your favorite Disney movies? Leave those in the comments down below, because I'd love to hear what some of your favorites are and why they even are. Now for next week, we are going to be kind of covering Christmas. So next week's theme is going to be Christmas week, because it's Christmas. Don't know if you knew that, but now you know. And thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Reflection Thursday. If you liked the video, please don't forget, like and subscribe down below. I release new videos every single Monday and Thursday. All of my social media links, including the link to Return Home, The Way I See It, and my merchandise shop are located in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, my name is Forrest, and remember, pink cake. Woo!